Bodhi, come here. He's gone. Oh, that's right. We have all the extras to do, which I've never seen. So we're going to be continuing. The adventure continues in episode 4. Previously on The Last Door. After escaping from his burial, Devitt finds himself in a cellar of London's darkest slum, the Old Nickel Rookery. In his pocket, he has a ticket for a show called The Four Witnesses. Devitt walks through the misty streets following a strange man who seems to guide him. He learns the legend of the Simurgh, the king of birds. Following its trail through a dreamlike land of fog, Devitt finally meets Alexander, a member of the secret group Devitt and his friends had at school. Alexander welcomes Devitt and speaks of an entity called the Bird that has been calling them ever since the experiment they conducted back then. There is no turning back. I have made my mind. I'm ready. Go on. Do it. Do it. Ugh. Do it. Strange Man Anthony. Did you ever figure out what game that was from? God damn it, Cherubim. Do it. Are we Star Wars now? Do it or do not. I love this opening. This game is community powered. Join now and leave your mark. Well, I mean, not anymore, it's not, but... You're still looking through your games. One day you'll remember which one. Can you see all these stars twinkling in the black outer abyss? All the constellations traced by human eyes in long distant eras. Look now to the forest and the valley, to the old tower. From the last tree in the distance to the stars in the sky. And even the stones beneath our feet are just silhouettes that hide the truth from our poor senses. Ancient shadows that hang over the veil that hides the world. As if it were the curtain of a theater, the veil separates the truth from the lie. The veil is a place, Devitt, a place of mist. Anthony's great abilities brought you here, but his influence will soon fade away. The mask of lies will descend over your eyes once again. You must find the door as I did. Oh, God. The door that gives passage through the veil. Open it and we will walk together beyond the mist. I suppose you are wondering why I called you so urgently. I cannot deny it, your letter was truly mysterious. I have been traveling, Doctor, to Scotland. Have you heard about the massacre of St. Gall? Why, yes, the tragic event has been the continued object of speculation and grim rumor on every newspaper in England. For weeks now, pamphlets have claimed that all kinds of macabre things took place. But I don't understand. How is all this connected with my patient? He was there. I'm afraid he is one of the victims. Are they talking about Devitt? Dear God. What was Devitt doing there? Many years ago, the St. Gall Hospital was a boarding school. It appears that both your patient and Mr. Beechworth spent a part of their youth together there. We can assume that Herr Devitt was investigating something. He believed he had found a clue related to his friend's death. Are you telling me my patient has been murdered? Murdered? Thankfully, no. Please excuse me for alarming you. I did not mean to give you this impression. Herr Devitt was attacked but survived. What was the cause of those awful deaths? No one knows for sure. The victims were inflicted with terrible wounds. All of them had an expression of utmost terror on their faces. What happened to him then? They're talking about all the bodies that were found in the basement then? It seems the criminal was caught by Herr Devitt in the midst of the act. Then he tried to do the same thing to Devitt that he had done to the others. Fortunately, the nuns arrived in time to unearth him from the coffin. Herr Devitt was hospitalized. The nurses report that he remained unconscious for an entire day. I suspect you did not find Mr. Devitt in the hospital. Indeed, he was already gone by the time I arrived. I've not been able to determine his whereabouts since. I see. What conclusions do you draw from all these circumstances? I have some theories, but I would prefer not to reveal them until events have unfolded. In all of them, there is a fundamental element whose role has not yet been revealed. And what leads you to this conclusion? It is something that the Holy Sisters found beside Herr Devitt within the coffin. An empty hypodermic needle with traces of an unknown substance. Episode 4, Ancient Shadows. So Devitt was... So the caretaker, the grounds caretaker, had attempted to attack Devitt after the Monsignor failed with his whole crap. Basically. But the nuns ended up stopping him and finding him in time. Devitt was taken to a hospital, but there was found a hypodermic needle that was next to him, and he just vanished from the hospital. I'm sure this is the place. Alexandra's house must be just ahead. Not that way. That's not ahead. This is ahead. There's a large iron bar latching the door. It's quite odd that the door was latched from the outside. Oh, no, it's too dark. Fuck that. It's latched. I can't open it from this side. Reach over. No one is answering. Perhaps I should go inside anyways. I'll just tell the household that I'm an old friend come to visit. Strange woman stares down at me, glaring with a silent reproach at my intrusion. Footsteps. There must be someone upstairs. A well-crafted grandfather clock, but it seems to be out of order. One of the hands is missing. Could be Pevensey Castle, but in this painting the garrison is not in ruins. A couple of old teacups sit on the table. One of them is full and still warm. Can I keep going this way? No? Okay. Door. Do you go into the darkness? I think I'm going to need a lantern before I can go in there. I'm pretty sure he's going to say no. An oil lamp. There you go. And it's on. Just some old bottles. It's a diary. This is the last thing written. The last pages have been ripped off. October 12th, 1887. It's been a while since I can't devote any time to this diary for reasons beyond my control. An event most tragic has taken place in this house. Mr. Dupre has gotten ill, immersed in an everlasting stupor from which, it seems, he shall not return anytime soon. Since the accident, I patiently take care of him. The doctor's treatments don't seem to do any good. I feed him like a child and make sure that all of the sculptures in the house are turned towards the wall. What else can I do? October 13th, 1887. The clockmaker just left. He has done such a good job. In the end, Mr. Dupre is not going to be able to notice the change in the clocks that he had so insistently requested. In his state, time will not be a problem anymore. This looks like the diary of a member of Alexander's household. What happened to them? A pantry with spices and ingredients. You love lamp. Cellar door is locked. I need a key to open it. I bet I can unlock it from here. Yep. Now I can go into the front. An ancient stone well. A rope hangs inside, disappearing into the darkness below. Grab the rope. The rope is broken. I'll keep this end. Rope is was hanging inside the well. The bucket is dropped to the bottom. Can't get a hold of the bucket with just this. Oh, it's a grave. Looks like someone was buried here. He just had a memory of the nuns helping him. I can't dig with my bare hands. I love how the nuns were set up to be like the creep factor in the game, and they ended up being like his salvation. And there was nothing wrong with anything that the nuns were doing. They were just trying to do their best. This pane looks as if it had been broken from the inside. Statue of an angel with its wings spread. Its head is missing. Statue of an angel covered in mold. It's glancing at me with a sad gesture. A jar of vitriol oil. I must be careful. It's a powerful acid. Are we gonna Doctor Who this shit? No, they're still there. What about Mr. Don't Pray? Don't pray in the pool. You stop that. Go upstairs. Silhouette of a man. It bears a strong resemblance to Alexander. Silhouette of a woman. Weren't those like really popular at the time period? Was like doing the silhouette portraits? A fine painting of the local Roman structures. They somehow seem more ancient in this depiction. Figurine of an angel facing the wall. Alexander. Is Alexander's last name Dupre? There's a scribbled annotation in this piece of paper. The veil is something we sense in our innermost being incessantly. In vain do we waste our lives craving to tear through. It is Xylothal, the curtain behind which the great wings beat. Inside its ancient mist inhabit the shadows of those who left. The table holds nothing but a box with the description laudanum to be taken in case of anxiety. It's empty. This cuckoo clock is covered with dust. It seems to be missing an important piece. The bird. The face of the clock has been turned. Alexander, it's me, Devitt. I'm sorry if I startled you. Is everything alright? Why are you sitting in a wheelchair? Are you hurt, maybe? Can you stand? He's staring blankly at some distant point, as if he has not heard my question at all. When I was downstairs, I could have sworn I'd heard footsteps. Were they yours, or is there someone else in this house? For a moment, I felt a flash of hope that he was looking at me, but he is unresponsive. You told me I should come here, and I came as soon as I could. Can you tell me what is happening here? He gives no answer, but persistently stares at something nearby. He appears to be in some kind of hypnotic trance. Alexander, please, say something. I don't know what to do. I don't understand just what happened to him. A misty dock overlooks a gray ocean. Gulls wheel overhead. He looks miles away. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to need to know this, but I'm going to take a picture. He's faking. Doubtful. It's possible that he's seeing beyond the veil. However the fuck he managed to pull that off. A figurine of an angel facing the wall, which may have left him his mortal self or physical self in the material plane, like in whatever catatonic state it's in, and his mind is elsewhere. A huge chest made of oak wood. A portrait of an old man, maybe a ship captain. It looks like he's trying to guard this chest with his stern glare. There's a large iron hook inside. I'll take this hook. There was a fragment of a diary under the hook. August 5th, 1887. I can't work in the basement anymore. Those wretched sculptures, I fear them stalking me in the darkness. I know it's not possible, but I can hear the crunches, the flapping wings, stone grinding on stone, their frozen paroxysms. With what diabolical art were those gestures conceived? An eternal movement to tension, an impossible struggle to get back the life they never had. I might place them outdoors in the greenhouse and let the mold devour them, and wasps make nests of their hollow hearts. Okay. Chill. A camera tripod. Pictures hanging from a cord. They look as if they were improperly developed. You can hardly distinguish anything. A basin with a copper drain. A lamp is hanging from the ceiling. Its bulb casts an intense white light. It looks like some kind of red-tinted glass cover used to mask the lamp. It's completely shattered on the floor. I vaguely remember we have to actually develop a picture in this room. The image of a couple wearing rat masks at a festival. A glass jar containing a yellow substance. The label reads cyanide. It's a big book of home chemistry recipes. A few pages have been bookmarked and some articles are underlined. Collodion 3149, collodion for photography. Collodion is the vehicle by which the photographic chemicals are united upon the surface of the glass and the sensitive coating produced. Many formulae are published for this article to which great value is attached, some supposing that to its particular composition belonging the principal causes of failure or success. This is only in a degree true. 3151, to develop a positive image. This is done by pouring upon the plate about 1 ounce of the vitriol spirit solution and only then adding 5 or 6 drops of the cyanide acid. Then the plate must be thoroughly washed in water to remove any excess of the chemicals. 3150. The causes of failure. They would almost require a chapter by themselves. A long experience convinces us that 9 out of every 10 failures occur from a want of care and the presence of dirt, negligence. One cannot be over-nice, careful, or cleanly. The best results always rewarding the most painstaking. If a mistake is made in the order specified in the formulae, quickly flow clean water over the plaque and start again. An instrument whose workings are beyond my knowledge. He took expired cyanide and now wants to kill James Bond. Cries. What? Well, the hook, I'm pretty damn sure you do it with that. A bust with his face turned around. A large envelope of black felt covered in dust and ashes. It is labeled with a warning, do not open it under white light. Picture of an angel with a gentle face. It's a letter. Dear Alexander, I have excellent news. A contact from the university has given me access to a 12th century alchemical tome containing an amazing formulary. There is no doubt that sometimes mere contemplation takes the mind to places that, otherwise, it would have never visited. Leafing through the grimoire and marveling at the exquisite illumination of its pages, I have been struck by a sudden epiphany. A radical but elegant method that I have decided to try. Forgive me for not providing any information about the method itself. As soon as I get definitive results, I will write to you immediately. I believe fortune has truly smiled upon us today. Vedete ne quiescat. June 8th, 1887. So whoever that letter's from is part of the group. This seems to be an invoice. May this document serve as record of the payment made corresponding to the following work. The cuckoo clock mechanism has been modified to give the strokes exclusively at 6:15 in the afternoon. So 6:15. In addition, a special device and a switch have been added to synchronize all clocks in the house. The shelf is lined with strange and complex books. Some titles include The Movements of Shadows, Preserving the Mind, and Lessons Beyond Nature. Nothing else? They're crying about Rat Jam? Oh. Rat Jam's always appeared as Rat Jam to you, so you're not sure why everyone else is sad. Wow. No, I know what you're... I know. It's just locked, right? Cellar door is locked. I need a key to open it. Within the mud and dirt inside the bucket, there was a small bird of brass. Strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be any water in the well. Little brass bird, when shaken, it makes a noise as if there was something inside. Put it back in the clock, I guess. Oh god, it went in this way. The bird fits perfectly. Face of the clock is turned. All of the clocks in the house are synchronized, which means turn the one down here. Even if this one's missing its hand, it still has its hour hand. Wait a minute. One of the hands is missing. Can I not do anything to this one? It looks miles away. Trying to see if there's anything else I can interact with. Figuring of an angel facing the wall. Synchronized swimming. Fucking hell. Appears to be out of order. One of the hands is missing. So that missing hand is somewhere. Because I think that's what we need to find. Nothing else in here? It's a fragment of diary under the hook. Anything else in here. Basin with a copper drain. Camera on the tripod. Red bits of glass shattered on the floor. Image of a couple wearing rat masks at a festival. Do not open under white light. Is there anything else in this room? Seems to be an invoice. Strokes exclusively at 6:15 in the afternoon. In addition, a special device and a switch have been added to synchronize all clocks in the house. The letter. Picture of an angel with a gentle face. Bust with its face turned around. Did I check the wheelchair guy's pockets? Can I check his pockets? I don't know. I keep thinking he was holding something, but I don't remember if you need to get him to interact with you for it or not. Lamp. House lights are on. Someone must be at home. Yes, we know. Someone is at home. Wow, shocking. Is there anything I could have left out here? Oh, now that I have a lantern, I can actually see. Old ruins lay by the path. They seem to be Roman in style. Corpse of a deer. Its abdomen torn open. It looks recently dead. Wait a minute. Statue of an angel with its wings spread. Its head is missing. Statue of an angel covered in mold. It's glancing at me with a sad gesture. Vitriol. Cyanide. Paint looks as if it had been broken from the inside. Creepy enough. You've decided to give up sugar and you have soda downstairs as temptation is strong right now. I'm sorry for you. My suggestion would be find something to replace soda with. Me personally, I always did iced tea, and I got hooked on iced tea instead. Not the kind with shit tons of sugar in it, just regular iced tea. I mean, you could do coffee too, but if you're adding a bunch of sugar to it, you're not making any change, really. Bare branches of the tree stretching to the sky break the night in 1,000 pieces. Strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be any water in the well. Can't dig with my bare hands. Yeah, but I can't do anything without a shovel. What's this? Dump it down the drain. It's not yours. Yeah, seriously. Maybe it's something in the kitchen I'm missing. Just some old bottles. Pantry with spices and ingredients. Old teacups. Could be Pevensey Castle, Miss Painting to the Garrison's Not in Ruins. Strange woman stares down at me, glaring with a silent reproach at my intrusion. Well-crafted grandfather clock, but it seems to be out of order. One of the hands is missing. Well, I'm aware. Is there anything else I can look up? Yeah, no, it's just the grandfather clock like that. Wait a minute. Can I see this portrait against the wall? No. It's gotta be around. It's like there's something here I'm missing. Yeah. Could get seltzer water. Bubbly and LaCroix or fizzy water. There are people who, like, do that. I can't get behind, like, LaCroix or anything like that. It just, seltzer water is not something I enjoy. Frickin' hell. Okay, so this clock has been turned. I can't interact with this. Is there some way to activate the cuckoo clock? You have to get it to go off. So you basically 6:15. So you need to move this hand over here. But the only way we're going to do it is if we have a larger hand for the other clock. Figuring of an angel facing the wall. Hit on his wife. What wife? Portrait of old man. I mean, unless there's something here. Can I do anything with this? Yes. Okay. I think I know what to do. We have to open up this envelope. In order to do that, we need to make the white light bulb red. Go dip it in the blood. It seems a little... doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I think we can dip it in the blood. I think. I feel like there's paint you're supposed to dip it into, and this was a solution that I tried doing when I first played it, and it doesn't work. But we're gonna find out right now. Oh my god, I think it works. Now the bulb is grossly covered in blood. No, it's fine. It's fine. This is how like photography works, right? Is this some way to activate the cuck clock? Is that what you were trying to say? Ha 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 ha. No. Stop it. Dilly does not get the joke because it wasn't funny. Inside the envelope, there's a glass plate, one side covered with an opaque substance. I've placed it in the basin. So I think we need to use the vitriol first. So I'm supposing that it's particular composition. Done by pouring upon the plate 1 ounce of vitriol spirit solution and only then 5 or 6 drops. So it's vitriol first. The oil has caused a strong acidic reaction. Cyanide. I've applied the liquids in the correct order. All that remains is to rinse the plate. An image is appearing on the plate. It's a photograph of Anthony and Alexander. It's not okay. Sink now has a stark stain on its surface. It looks like some kind of red tinted glass cover. Wait, did the light bulbs break? Light bulb has exploded. The image is back in its frame. You're making a stew with beef and veg? Ooh. Yay, friends. Yay, creepy friends. I'm so glad we have creepy friends. Let's show the photo to you. Hey, does this work for you? Alexander, do you recognize this photograph? Take a look. It is you and your our old friend Anthony. And there's someone else blurred in the background. Who is the third figure? Does he mean something to you? He's breathing heavily. He seems to be lacking air. The bird awaits. Piece of clockwork, a hand. The bird awaits. It was in his hand. Corn's in the stew, not for you, but for your stepdad. Yeah, I'm okay with corn. I'm not a huge fan, and I tend to not put it in things. A well-crafted grandfather clock seems to be out of order. Yeah. Hold on. I put the clock hand in its place. I only need to set the clock to the correct time. So, the correct time for the one upstairs. The sound came from upstairs. Xylothol. The bird has burst out at the stroke. Now its beak is open. There was a key inside the bird. It's a small key. He's having some kind of seizure. He's trembling out of pure horror. Clock mechanism is definitely broken. Corn is indigestible garbage. I like corn in some respects. Like corn tortillas I love. Oh. That's not okay. Mold and dust cover the portrait, making the subject indistinguishable. Piece of fine furniture has several drawers. Inside this one, there's a gardener's shovel. Cabinet has a large stain of mold due to the high humidity of this atmosphere. There are remains of a Roman mosaic behind this wall. I can't distinguish anything clearly. An ancient statue in poor conditions. Old ruins. It seems that they were part of the Roman settlement. A book written in a language unknown to me. There's a scrawled annotation written in English on one of the margins. This and no other is the function of the serum we manufactured at the boarding school when we were young. It is something that we didn't understand at that time, to accompany the mind to the proscenium of the big theater, and there help us to look behind the curtain that separates the world of men from the land of truth. To look, I say, if anything, to apprehend an image of what lies there, just that. Will the hoopoe allow us to raise the curtain enough to walk off the stage and go beyond? Innumerable jars full of murky objects suspended in formaldehyde. A huge cave full of leftovers and dirt. Animals have been captive here. Jars and test tubes. Everything is soaked in chemical residues and the air is filled with the smell of vinegar. A bunch of dust-covered beakers with repulsive liquids. A few of them have developed fungi inside. Unlabeled bottles and lab equipment. There's something right here. We're gonna have to take the shovel and we're gonna have to go and dig up that whatever that grave is outside. Yeah, it's okay. The lock is very rusted, almost shattered. The lock still resists. I can't open it by hand. A wooden box that seems too small for a coffin. Well, how the hell am I going to open that? This? I mean, it is acid. Oh. The fuck is this? The remains of a humanoid body, but with a grotesque animal aspect. Maybe a small ape. It has a collar with some engraved words on it. Old Mike. Skeletal fingers of the creature are clutching a rolled-up canvas. It's a map of the stars. It's some kind of navigation map. Several constellations are marked. Deneb, Altair, Vega, the Summer Triangle. Let's go... Oh god, that sounds like Alexander. I was gonna say, let's go break our friend some more, and then he just started screaming. Alexander? What the fuck just happened? Some diary pages are on the wheelchair. The paper is ripped apart as if someone had stripped it off the book hastily. October 31st, 1891. I'm writing this in the light of my desk lamp, hoping to be able to remember it all when the birds finally sing and the sun's blessing dispels the dark shadows of the mind. During the whole afternoon, a strong wind hit the valley, so strong that it has cracked the larger branch of the old oak in the garden. I find it hard to get sleep during these nights, so I read a lot while accompanying the professor. I don't really know when exactly I fell asleep. I was awakened by the chill of the night which was seeping through the open window. I looked outside and I saw him. The professor was miraculously awake. What was my joy to see him standing on the balcony, watching the valley with a true serene expression, enjoying the fresh and calm air right after the storm. I felt that a blessing had fallen upon this house, and for a moment I felt immensely happy. I stared at him for a while without saying anything, being afraid of dispelling a vision I hadn't believed possible for a long time. And then, in the midst of the silence, I heard a sound that froze me in my seat and snatched all my calmness with such a terrible chill that I will never forget. A loud noise beside me, low-pitched as the drag of a slab. Mr. Alexander's snore, who was pleasantly sleeping in his bed. I've already made a decision. I'll leave this house. A statue. It's holding something. It's a lens mounted in a metal ring. The fuck am I doing with this? There are some strange symbols marked on the surface. Some kind of navigation map. Several constellations are marked. Some symbols on the surface. Can I use this with anything? The camera? Damn it. What about this one weird device over here? Mosaic, maybe? Oh, maybe. Planning on making a frozen pie today, but you don't know the flavor? What is a frozen pie? Like a pie that you make and then freeze? Because it needs to stay, like, cold, like an ice cream pie kind of thing? What was that? Oh, there's a telescope. This chat, you didn't want to say you were making a frozen cream pie? Oh. There's a mountain of compacted snow. There's a dark hole in the center of this room. It delves into the depths of the earth far below, far beyond what I can see. A wooden secretary desk, beautifully carved. The flip top has no knob or lock, but just some strange symbols. Let me make my life a lot easier because I know I'm gonna need this. There, I took a picture. Ah. Crystal fits perfectly in the telescope. The fuck is this shit? Deneb. Here. Altair. I think is right here. And then Vega is this one. No, I think this is not the triangle I'm looking for. Wait. The fuck? Oh, Altair is right here. There we go. Correct. This is the summer triangle. Okay. Well, that's nice. Oh, so am I supposed to know the symbols or something? Alright. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. So we want the tree, this one. And then over here we want the Ultima. And then down here we want, like, I don't know what the hell you would call this. Pitchfork? There's a small cabinet with 2 slots for syringes. Only one of them remains. The voice again, it comes from the bottom of the pit. Strawberry rhubarb pie is amazing. I have no idea what it tastes like, because I haven't had it. Alexander. Oh, this is from the prologue. There's a chair in the middle of the room. A variety of surgical instruments and some jars with chemicals in front of them. Alexander. This is what you asked me to search for, is it not, Alexander? Am I right? The last door. Xylithol. The last door. We can cross together. What should I do? I am waiting for you, here in the mist. It's nearby. I can hear it. What is nearby? What do you hear? I hear the beating of its wings. It knows we are afraid. I am ready. Sit down. Totally fine. Drugs in your system, it's okay. I see the truth, says every single druggie ever. I just wiped a clump of fur off the camera. Am I blurry now? Do you think that we will find any clue here about Devitt's whereabouts? Oh, this is the original house. The police must have taken almost everything, but we have no other leads to pursue. Hopefully they have overlooked something. What about this room? There's a sealed letter between this table and the wall. It looks like Herr Beechworth never sent it. I think it's best that you read it. Dearest Alexander, please, you must reflect on this. We do not yet know what we are dealing with. If you were to open the door, it may stay that way. An open way for whatever lives on the other side. Videte ne quis siat. Dun dun dun. Well, we're going to do all the extras next before we go into Chapter 2. The adventure continues in Season 2. The Last Door Ancient Shadows was funded by 2040 backers. It was published on February 14th, 2014. Extras! Let's go to the morgue. I know nothing about the extras. I've never played the extras. The sky is cloudy outside. Here I have the police and medical report. The latter is still blank. According to the police, the deceased's name is Father Ernest Glynn, the man that immolated himself. Oh. The mortician who was working on the Monsignor's body. There must be something wrong with the water pressure valve. The sky is cloudy outside. An anatomical model built of actual human bones. We will see if the police report is right. Good lord, what a mess. Caught him! Not yet sure if I need to cut at all. Skin is all scorched. Cause of death is probably shock caused by the sudden burns. Horrible way of passing. What could lead a man of God to commit such an act? All that remains is to file the medical report so he can receive the proper treatment a fine gentleman deserves. Nothing else to do here. I should file the medical report. This case still puzzles me. If he wanted to commit suicide, why did he do it in such a painful manner? Was he drugged or intoxicated? I should check his stomach for signs of poisoning. I need to cut his chest open. Alright, the stomach looks fine on the outside. Now I should cut it open to check its contents. What is this? There's something strange in here. It looks like a piece of paper. It's a note. It's names. A crumpled note with 4 names. One of them is crossed out. I think I should inform the inspector immediately. Kind of gross. Francis Baldwin. After being certified of your guilt by a peer jury, we find you guilty of the wicked and violent murders of 14 innocent and sick people. This was the groundskeeper. Because of this sentence, I am hereby authorized to execute you at this very moment by hanging to death in the sight of God. Would you like to make a final statement before we proceed? Why will you say that I am mad? You should have seen how mercifully I proceeded. With what love? I saved them. I released them. Now they are in a better place. Do you still believe I am mad? That was a quick one. I mean, he is a little insane. Wanderer in the fog. Oh, is this the red-haired guy? She's the only survivor. What happened to the others? They are all dead. I would like to talk to her. Is she the only survivor that was from the hospital? No. Wait. Good afternoon. My name is Johann Kaufman. I am a doctor. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Please be careful with what you ask. Ms. Parnell's state is delicate. I'm perfectly fine and able to talk, sister. Thanks for your consideration. Now, doctor, I understand you want me to repeat my story. I would be thankful to hear it, indeed. I'll stay outside if you need me. I am a sane woman, doctor, in complete control of my mind and reason. You do not dare to question it. I certainly wouldn't. Then I will commence. I woke up in the dark. The room was small, so narrow that I could touch the wooden walls just by raising my elbows. Could you recognize the place? I couldn't tell at first. For a moment, a most dreadful thought crossed my mind. What if I had been buried alive? When I got out, I found myself in my parents' house. I hadn't been there since they sent me to school. Did you see anyone there? Your parents or maybe someone you know? No, they were not in the house, nor was any servant I had known in the years of my childhood. I was alone. I could feel the humid air on my skin and could smell the scent of the long time abandoned. I walked the rooms, unsettled by silence. The place had the bleak feel of a ruin. Then I saw someone. In the opposite end of the corridor, an old woman stared at me. An old woman? Who was she? How should I know? I hadn't seen her before. I followed her out through the back alley and into the streets. I got lost in the burg of Aberdeen. The streets were deserted and a thick fog covered everything. I thought I had seen the old woman through the fog once or twice, but they could have been just shadows. So the city was empty? No, not completely. I met some people, vagabonds. One of them was a priest. I remember a novelist and a boy, too. Are these people that are caught amidst the fog, like in that area, like the Vale itself, like the between location that never quite crossing, never quite able to get out? This priest, where did you meet him? I met him in a stable. Good lord, he said mass there among the beasts. Could you imagine the profanity? Tell me more about the novelist. The woman had never written a word. She created only in her mind, you know. She could tell the story sentence by sentence with perfect precision, and I could even hear a piece of her last work. Do you remember anything about the novelist's work? Yes, the piece she told me was something like, the shadows of the past soon melted within the land that loves silence. Through the fog they walked, found themselves lost. Hoping for a sign from their gods, they set camp on the beach, where 30 birds awaited to meet their crown. So the boy, what about him? I came across an abandoned carriage. The horse was long dead, its bones still harnessed to the cart. There was a young man petting the carcass of the animal. Ew. Could you talk to this young man? He was deaf, but I think he could read my lips. When he spoke, he did with a clear accent. He said he could only listen to the songs of the departed. What happened then? As I walked, the fog got denser. I could barely see anything around. I finally met the old woman. She didn't say a thing, but gave me a cardboard card. Then she left. She gave you a playing card? It's one of those used to tell fortune. There was a drawing on it of a veiled person holding a lamp. Then the mist seemed to clear out and I could finally see. What do you mean? The fog opened to a giant clear space. Not in the city. It was a barren land bathed by a dark sea and something else. What was it? It was there. It looked at me. The burning dark inside, the shaking, the scream. That vision I cannot understand. What is it, Doctor? Have I finally lost my strength of mind? I believe you. I'm sure what you lived was real. But I am afraid that I currently lack any proof that can confirm your account. I am sorry. I should leave. Thank you for your time. Wait, Doctor. I have something else to say. When I first woke up here, there was something beside me. Would this be enough proof? It looks like a tarot card. Beechworth's Wake. We found him in the attic, and he was a little old and decrepit, but we decided to put him in the bed anyways for everyone. Look. He does not look dead, but just asleep. I barely knew him, busy as he was traveling the world. How long was he in the attic, I want to know? What would be of a man with no aspiration for the other side to inspire or lead him? I knew it would come to this. Your father was a terrible mess of a man. I'm only grateful that he brought you to our home. Soon enough, not long after you were born, I hold no doubt that you will learn from his bad example and grow up to be a righteous gentleman. It's horrible to say at someone's wake. What could there be greater than the efforts of mortals to rise from their miserable condition? We will speak later, young man. We're busy. This is so sad. He was most dearest to me. You know, your father was a complicated man. He had a strong character and was stubborn as a mule when he had taken a determination. He believed he had a mission in this world, though I am not sure he knew exactly what it was. That which avoids description, the unknown, provides men with a reason to exist. It's a most sorrowful day. Mr. Beechworth was a great man, lad. This is an obscure domain, its secrets taken by man from the silence of nature and death. You're the young Beechworth, is that right? Your father left you everything. Anthony! The house, his accounts, and all his belongings for you to receive when you come of age. Oh, this is in the past. So this is Anthony's father. So the guy who hung himself in the attic was Anthony Beechworth. So this is what happened to his father. His father killed himself then. That's very weird. He was very specific in his testament, though, that you should receive this promptly. His personal book log. I think he killed himself? That's what it seems like. These are the memoirs of my life, my research and knowledge of the other side. Use them wisely, son. So this is where it started. So his dad saw the other side as well. Sweet.